We look into the first question now. So these are very good questions that I have selected from the topic of neural control and coordination from a question paper. See, the interesting part of this particular paper is that it requires, a good presence of mind to solve this question. Instead of getting all questions wrong, like silly mistakes are very much probable in these kind of questions. So I found good questions in this that will, enable you to understand the concepts better, to solve this without making much mistakes. Even you know the concept, still you make mistakes. That is called as silly mistakes, isn't it, in the exam? That is very typical, very common in the exams like Neet exam. So yeah, these kind of questions are will help you very much in absolutely making you fit to solve questions with the least amount of mistakes that you make. See, the first question is, which category of nervous system comprises the whole complex of nerves, fibers and ganglia and plexus by which the impulses travel from the central nervous system to the involuntary organs and vice versa. So here the catch point is this involuntary organs, right? So this involuntary organs has to be supplied by a specific type of nervous system, and they are asking you the name of this particular nervous system. So that we'll just classify the nervous system first of all. Your nervous system, that is NS, is divided into two. What are those? Central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Alright, fine. The central nervous system consists of brain as well as the spinal cord, while peripheral nervous system, whatever other parts of the body you have nerves, isn't it? Nerves are present here. So anything else which are part of the nervous system except the brain and spinal cord comes in the peripheral nervous system. Now this peripheral nervous system is divided into two parts, that is somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Fine, right. This autonomic is again divided into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Read the question again. It is comprising of nerves. Okay, fibers. What are fibers? Fibers simply means the nerves. Typically this is the name given for the axon of a nerve. You call it as the fibers. Nerve fibers. Single nerve is called as the nerve fiber. Ganglia. Okay, ganglia means it is a collection of cell bodies of the nerve, collection of the cell bodies of the nerve outside the CNS. That means I will talk about only this particular portion. They are themselves saying that this is comprising of ganglia. They are themselves saying that this is comprising of ganglia. So I have to look into PNS because I know that ganglia is only present in peripheral nervous system. Plexus. What is plexus? Plexus means it is a group of joining and diverging nerves. So it is a group of nerves, isn't it? Okay. That is called as plexus. Plexus simply means that these nerves are again joining, then they are diverging, they are joining. So this kind of a joining and diverging kind of a mixing of nerves is taking place over here. It's a a interaction between nerves, you can say, plexus, by which impulses travel from the central nervous system to involuntary organs. Okay. Is it sympathetic nervous system? Is it somatic? Is it visceral? Or is it peripheral nervous system? So this requires, see, out of this, I can simply rule out somatic nervous system. Okay. The somatic nervous system is for the skeletal muscles, while autonomic nervous system is for the involuntary organs. Stomach, heart, intestine, all these things are involuntary organs. So autonomic nervous system is my answer. Okay. So here I have multiple options for this. So this is not my option. Peripheral nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is a part of peripheral nervous system. So this can be my answer. Sympathetic nervous system. Yes, this is sympathetic nervous system as a part of autonomic nervous system. This can be my answer. But they have given you visceral nervous system. Visceral nervous system is the other name for autonomic nervous system. So visceral nervous system is the other name for autonomic nervous system. So among these three options, among option number 1, 3 and 1, 2 and 4, the best option is visceral nervous system. So I'll be marking option 4 as the correct choice over here. Whenever you have three probable options over here, you have to go with the most probable one. Here visceral nervous system simply means autonomic nervous system. Autonomic nervous system is my answer. I'm not going with sympathetic nervous system because autonomic nervous system itself is there in the options, that is visceral nervous system. I hope I have made myself clear now. So let's go to the next question now. In the next question they say, which of the following sensory receptors detect dissolved chemicals? Okay. See, tactile receptors are touch receptors. These are your touch receptors. Touch is a mechanical, experience. Like I am touching here, I know that I am touching. Okay. So this touch receptors are something which is very much mechanical in nature, but gustatory receptors, that means taste, isn't it? Taste. This is taste receptors. Taste is because of certain chemicals which are present in the food. Or you take anything into your mouth, you will feel a taste because certain chemicals are responsible for giving it the taste that it deserves. Okay. Olfactory receptors are for smell. Again, smell is because of certain substances, chemicals which are present inside the substance that you are smelling. So my option will be olfactory as well as gustatory receptors. So I will be marking option 4 as the correct answer over here. So gustatory receptors and olfactory receptors, taste receptors and smell receptors are examples of those receptors which are carrying the chemical sensations. They are chemical receptors because you get a taste as well as smell only when there are chemicals which are present inside the food that you take or whatever you smell. It is because of the chemicals that you get a sensation of smell as well as taste. I hope this is also clear to you. Let's go to the next question. Take a look at this question now. Okay. Neurons consist of axon and two or more dendrites. Neuron consisting of one axon and two or more dendrites. So my neuron is somewhat like this. Okay. There are multiple dendrites. I have multiple dendrites here and one axon is also present here. This axon will divide into axonites and this is my synaptic knob. Now these are present in embryo. This is called by the name of multipolar neurons. Right? In embryo, you will get unipolar neurons. In cerebral cortex, that means your brain, you will have multipolar neurons. In layer of bipolar cells in retina, these are bipolar neurons. Okay, rods and cones, those are bipolar cells. Now, tell me which is the answer. It is a very simple question. Yeah, you know that option 2 is the correct answer for this. A direct, straightforward NCERT derived question. Next question is very important. See, Nissel's granules. What are Nissel's granules? These are site of protein synthesis, where inside the neuron. So if this is my neuron, so I will have certain granule-like substance. These are certain granules. That is why you call it as Nissel's granule, isn't it? So these granules are actually present in my cell. This is my cyton cell body, and that extends into the dendrite also. Okay, so this is my dendrite. So my granules are extending onto the cell body as well as to the dendrite. So it is present in two areas, that is cell body and dendrite. Now tell me the answer here. Is it present on axon? No. Axon hillock. What is axon hillock here? Axon hillock is this initial portion. The first portion of axon is called as axon hillock. This is my axon hillock. This was a names question. Okay, it was a names question many years ago. They asked which part of the in which part of the neuron is the nerve impulse actually produced. It is in the axon hillock. The nerve impulse is first produced in the axon hillock. So what is my correct answer here? Dendrite. It is present in cell body as well as dendrite, but in my question only option is dendrite. So I will go with option 3 here. So that clearly explains this question, isn't it? So let me read this particular point to you in the NCERT. I have taken a printout of NCERT. Just look at this. The cell body contains cytoplasm with typical cell organelles and contains granular bodies called as Nissel's granules. So they have clearly mentioned that these are granules in the cell body or the cyton. So they have mentioned that you will get the Nissel's granules in here. Okay, they have mentioned that. Now, short fibers which branch repeatedly and project out of the cell body also contains Nissel granules and are called as dendrites. So these are certain processes coming out of the cell body like this. These are called as dendrites and they also contain the Nissel's granules. So this is given in page number 316 of your NCERT. Just go through that and mark it then and there. In the last paragraph of this particular page, you will be able to see this. Okay. So make sure that you mark this now itself and have a revision of everything before your NEET exam this year. It's in September 13th, it seems, isn't it?